Good morning, everyone. This is Trisha Turpinoff, Joanne Johnson, and Diana Cordero. We are Coffee Talk. We are the power circle of three talking about marketing, photography, and design. And we do that by helping you grow your business. And we get into the nitty gritty things that nobody else will talk about. Woo, exciting. So today, I'm sorry, I had to get silly on a Monday. So today we want to talk about vulnerability. We want to talk about belonging. I know most everyone knows who Brene Brown is, and I'll definitely put a link in on our page for that. But really, Diana, you had said something really great in the emails we had talked about that really, how do we make people feel less vulnerable? And I don't know if it's making them feel less vulnerable or helping them to feel more confident. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah, I think because you had cited some wonderful links for us to take a peek at. And what stood out is, though they're talking about you as a person, but it's like we're all worthy of being loved and belonging, even in the business market. No matter what your business, you bring something unique. You just need to be brave, and we help people be brave.
We do help people be brave. Yeah, I mean, if they're ready to jump, the cool thing is all three of us are right there to help them elevate. I love that.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'll find those and I'll put those links because there's some Lady Gaga. There's some really good links. I will.
Yeah. It just really, they're just little snippets. It's not like, they were really good. I would, definitely add them in. I really, they were inspiring.
Absolutely.
For me. So, yeah. But anyway, businesses, you're the expert, and everybody has their personality. We're all worthy of belonging in this marketplace, and it's big, but that's why we're here as a team to help people stand out and put their best foot forward, even if you don't know where to start. There's lots of people to lift you up and help you out.
Absolutely. Finding a tribe.
Yeah, and I think that along those same lines is, helping, kind of, how do they, I think being confident is more, it's Monday.
Monday.
I think being confident is a really good point too, because, people, I think within doing business, there is a lot of vulnerability there, right? So, people might write a book, that's being vulnerable. Anytime people are putting themselves out there in marketing in any way, you've got to be vulnerable. There's a vulnerability piece to it, especially, being authentic. I mean, we're assuming that you're being authentic. If you buy other people's stuff and post it, I don't know what to tell you, but I would say, well, I do, but I would say, start doing your own stuff, because I think if you look at it from a point of service, it's like when you talk about, going networking even, right? You're putting yourself out there, and people go, oh, I cannot, networking. But if you look at it from a point of service, hey, how can I go and help somebody else? So when I'm posting for other people, I'm thinking about, how can I help this person? How can I help, so-and-so reach their ideal client? Because people are out there waiting for you. They're looking for you, not just somebody that does design. They're looking for Diana. Because she has that thing that they really relate to. And if she's not being vulnerable and telling her story and her, what she's overcome and why she does what she does, they can't connect with that. And so you've got to do that. You've got to look at that. And I think if you look at it from, how can I help people, instead of, oh my God, it's me, it's, I'm going to be vulnerable here, it's my story, take the my out of it. One, it becomes less personal, even though it is still personal, and then talk to people. And I think that's really important. And so if people are afraid, just look at it as being of service, and those people need you. They need you, you know?
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
agree. Well, go ahead, Diana.
oh, I was gonna say, well said, well said. We are not perfect.
No,
We will all make mistakes. We're all gonna get overwhelmed.
Yes.
right, right.
Own it. It happens to everybody, everybody. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just it's part of the business. So go ahead, Trisha.
It it is. Did you have something,
I was
Julia?
just gonna say, and how we overcome those things is what connects and
Right.
what people are looking for. So when we're overwhelmed, what did I find that really helped me? Because it's going to help other people. Will it help everyone? No, but I'm not trying, I can't help everyone. Everyone is not my client.
Right.
And so it's going to help the people that are looking for me. So go ahead, Dan. Go ahead, Trisha.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And one of my questions for today was, if you're not seen, how are you going to grow your business? And because it's kind of attached to my other kind of discussion question, which is life begins at the end of our comfort zone, which is so true. And so many people are scared to be seen. Like, I have a friend who I've known for years, and over the last 4 years, she's worked in a corporate job and wants to get back to what her specialty is, but literally has got herself wrapped around the axle with what she's going to name her company now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, literally, I was in a mastermind with her for a year and we got nowhere with her. I mean, we gave her lots of ideas, and I feel so bad for her, because it's like, it's not about, we always talk about, it's not about perfection. Get it out there. Get your message out there. What do what, like you said, Joanne, who are you serving and how can you make their life better? Because everything that all three of us do totally helps people elevate their businesses and grow. And that's really exciting. But you have to be brave and courageous and take those steps,
Definitely. Yep.
Right. And
Yeah,
it's
that's awesome. Yeah, be brave. I love that term. Yeah, be brave.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do
Yeah.
think people who are involved in a tribe do much better as well. Like, I see it with all the people that we know in eWomen, and I'm part of the Dames. And when you're involved with those groups and the right women, you have so much support. And so it's not so scary to come out with your story and start laying down tracks to grow your business. But at first I can understand that. But that's why I think having some organization, doesn't have to be the one I love, just find one that really speaks to you and get involved and be there all the time. And those things make a huge difference.
Yeah, they do. And you just need to, I'll just tell, this time last year, I was doing some well, not now, it got shut down, but
Right.
we had to switch to Zooming. And then you could Zoom anywhere to networking meetings. It was a little bit, it was a little scary, I'll say, because I didn't know anybody. I mean, I went to eWomen, I did a couple others, and you're just in there, but people are really, really kind and reach out and want to get to know you and about you. So, as far as that networking and getting to know people, it's not as hard as it seems. You just got to take that step and do it consistently.
Yes, it is. Consistency is totally key.
Yeah.
I just have my calendar marked off in perpetuity for eWomen.
Yes, I made that mistake. So I'm actually missing it Thursday because I have 2 appointments. I'm like, why did I do that? I think I was thinking it was next week.
Oh, yeah.
So it's permanently on my calendar now, so I won't make that mistake.
That's funny. Yeah, that's right. I was like, wait, is it this week? And it is. Yeah, it felt weird. And Colorado Springs and Denver are not together this time.
Oh, yeah, because the first was a Thursday. So,
yes,
it moved Thursdays down. Yeah.
It did. Yeah. It did do that to us. But yeah, back to vulnerability. And it's interesting when you listen to someone like Brene Brown talk or other coaches, and what they say about that, they're just like, take a step. You just have to take a step. And I read a quote the other day from Mark Cuban, and he was talking about how being an entrepreneur isn't easy. And you have to go after it and do the hard work. And he says lots of people want to be entrepreneurs. I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. That's very
Yeah, that
interesting.
is, yeah. Well, yeah, and
Yeah,
it makes sense because, you know, if you work for a corporation or somebody else, you know, they're the people out front. You know, you
right,
might be the back end or whatever, but it's easier to hide that way. But when it's
right.
you, you're the entrepreneur, you're the business, you know, and, you know, we
Yeah.
were talking about support. And I just want to say something about that real quick. You know, there are a lot of people who don't support other people. And
Mhm.
you run into that on social media. And my advice around that would be, you know, if you're posting and you're getting those trolls, you know, who aren't supportive, you know, unfriend them. Like, why are you friends with that person? Why are you
Right.
a connection to that person? They're clearly not your tribe. They're not your ideal person to hang around with.
Right.
So why would you do that? And, you know, and hopefully it's not family, you know, unfortunately, family
Hopefully.
sometimes is not supportive, but, you know, then you have to make that decision, you know,
Yeah.
and maybe you're friends with them on Instagram and not on Facebook or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
you clean that up. Um, so, but I would just suggest, you know, that if you're finding that there are people that you're connected to who aren't supportive, you know, then end that
Right.
connection. No reason,
A-
why are you connected to them? That's stupid.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anything that you can do in your life to gain more confidence, be more happy, find more joy, I think that's key. You know, if
Yeah,
your tribe isn't making you happy, they're not your tribe. If,
right,
well, and you also have to look at yourself. You can't just be like, it's my tribe. Like, I am the common denominator in my life. So I have to look at me first. Like, what part am I playing in any of those things?
right,
But yeah, I've been really blessed in social media that, well, I don't click on anything that is negative. I won't even go near it. So they, because of the algorithm, that pops up less and less and less when you don't touch it.
right.
And so that's always nice. But yeah, I don't usually have, yeah, I've been really blessed not to have mean trolls. And, I just feel like I've connected to the right people. And that helps you every time you go to do anything else. Like, when someone comes to work with any of us, we're there to literally elevate their image. And when we start doing that, well, it's fun. Like when I see, like, Joanne is actually doing some work for me on LinkedIn, and it's so cool to see the
Mm.
people that I want to come through, and then I connect with them. And then Diana just did a lookbook for me that is like out of this world. And it does, like, there's something about things happening and elevating your image that make you feel so confident. Like, I can do, like this, all of this elevates who I am, and getting new things into your, new website, new, social media. Those things, they help you take that next step. What's the next bigger step? And it's not easy, but sometimes for me, I'm pretty practical in that, like, if it needs to be done, it needs to be done, and I have to find the money.
Right, right. And you're right. And a refresh on your website or a refresh in your look, you know, I mean, you know, getting pictures done every so often is a great idea. You know, refreshing what your graphics look like, you're posting.
Right,
Maybe not necessarily your logo, but you
right,
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
what your look is, you know, getting that up to date. That's important. And
right.
just you know, and then yeah, and consistency is very key with,
Oh my gosh, we just can't scream that enough.
no, you can't.
Consistency. Well, because
Yeah.
so many times when I talk to, and it happens a little less now, but for a while it's like, hey, who's doing your social media? Because you're going to use those images in campaigns and, different platforms. And when they say that they're doing it, I've only had one person in the entire time I've been asking that question that said, I do it and I am consistent. Everybody else, they have a fall off at some point, and that's why you've got to hire someone like Joanne, because you don't then have to worry about the fall off. Like, Joanne's going to be doing it,
Yes.
you know? And so many people don't understand marketing. Like I was talking to a client the other day who just started with someone, and I don't know this person. I don't know the social media person, but the client's already frustrated and it's only been 2 months. And I'm like, okay, so humans, we're not good with patience. You got to take a step back. You got to take a deep breath, and you've got to recognize that marketing is all about putting it out there every month and then looking at the analytics and then tweaking it and putting it back out there. I wish that there was here's the playbook that you follow for success, but there's just,
you always have to reevaluate.
It's so individual.
No pill. There's no pill.
Oh, there's no pill.
Sorry.
There's no pill. And I know marketing is very scary for people. And not only that, a really hard part about marketing is if you don't understand your brand and your brand messaging before they hire someone like you, Joanne, that is, well, and the same with you, Diana, when you do websites, like if they don't understand that messaging, that's really important. And so hire a brand strategist, because they're more than you think they are. I mean, in both Diana and I have worked with Ann Bennett, or working with Ann Bennett actually. And it has blown my mind how much she's elevated my voice, and it's my voice. She's just better at saying it because that's what she does.
Yeah.
You know,
she's good too. She does.
That comes back kind of to me to vulnerability, and not that because you put yourself out there, Trisha. So I'm not saying that you're not being vulnerable, but there's even like blind spots around that. And I find that helping people with marketing. So one, they don't want to, they haven't been consistent. They're afraid to put themselves out there. And so it's really, even if you have a coach or even an accountability partner or a good friend that will tell you the truth, to say, hey, what do you think of this post? Or, whatever.
Right.
It's easy when you bring on somebody else. I think just like photography, I told you that I hate having my picture taken, but you made it fun and I felt good about it. And Diana does awesome stuff, so you feel like, oh yeah, that's so much better. And she'll take what you say and turn it into this gorgeous, design.
Yeah, or even help lead you along the way, because a lot of people don't really know what they want. And but I can look at it and it just makes like, wow, we could do this, this, and this, and it's exciting.
That's right, because you have the eye for that. That's your expertise. Then so for somebody to think that they could do that themselves, I think is a little, crazy, because we can't see our blind spots. We can't, if you're afraid to put yourself out there, like, what are you creating? Either you're not putting anything out there, or it's a mess probably. And there's no message. There's no, you're not really speaking to anybody. And so I think when you get people on board, when you hire team members in whatever aspect that is, that they can really help you see what you can't see, help see in your blind spot, like Ann's doing for you, and really elevate that, that we I can't see my blind spots,
No.
So,
and it helps you be good at what you do instead of sitting fussing around with something you're not enjoying. I mean, I'm kind of going through that right now as one little phase of my business. It's like, I don't like doing this, so I'm going to contract it out. Because then I can do what I enjoy most, which is cooking, and then you can gain more business because you're not wasting time messing around with this part of your business. So
exactly.
Exactly. I agree. We've all done that where we've tried to do things ourselves, and it just, it totally cracks me up, because I've had Diana do a few logos for me, and every time I get things back from Diana, I'm like, don't do this anymore, Trish. I know.
Okay, that's a really good compliment.
Oh man, seriously. Like, I get your stuff back and I'm like, oh, I would have never thought of this. That's why we hire all of us. I mean, that's why we hire Diana, is because I would have never, I mean, funny enough, like, I always have my little button here. Diana did this. Oh, come on, elevate your image. And at the bottom, it says turpinoff.com, but it's really small. But I know what's funny is it's a very simple button, but still it's so darn cute. And I would have never thought of those fonts. I just wouldn't have thought of it. I got it back and I was like, wow, because you're like, okay, what can you really do with a button? And then you get something back from Diana and you're like, that's what you can
Oh,
do.
that's what you do.
You can do a lot with a button.
Yes, you can. And so, yeah, I think, again, circling back to the whole vulnerability is being vulnerable and actually being smart enough to recognize that you do need help and that it is okay to be vulnerable. And that's why people like us exist, because we can help people grow their business and make more money. And I think in the end, I mean, yes, we all have a message and we're all in service to our clients. And there's nothing that tickles me more than seeing them, soar in their business. And when they soar, they make more. And it is making more money is not a shameful thing. And people really get wrapped around the axle about that too. And I love a quote that I just recently saw from Sandra Yancey. It was money. Oh God, how did she say it? She said, it was something surrounding something about you haven't made, if you haven't, you've made it because you give so much money, something to that effect. Oh man, I'm totally butchering it.
I didn't see it. Otherwise I would help you out here.
Darn it.
I don't remember it.
Right. I'm guessing the gist was you can make a bigger difference in the world because you made more money. If I don't make any money, I can't give any away. But if I make a lot of money, I can give a lot of money away.
Exactly. Giving feels so amazing. It really does.
And she also mentioned, like, everybody, you're balking at paying taxes, but you're paying taxes, which means you're making money. So
exactly.
Right.
There's that too.
Well, there was something with that. I remember what you're talking about now.
Right.
Or kind of
exactly.
That lead.
I think she said it in her challenge. But
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
But anyway, to wrap us up, let me think. Yeah, I think, you know what? It's funny. We've really said it all. I went to read stuff. I'm like, oh, we've already talked about that. But yeah, I think what's really important, and I'm sure that Joanne and Diana will agree, is that we're here to help you stand out, because, there are billions of websites, there are billions of people on the web, and, there's no time like the present to get on. I mean, you're still on time for the party if you get on now and start really utilizing who you are and the great message that you have. And if you need help with that, let us know. Drop it in the comment box. We'd be happy to send you. I have like 3 brand people that I really like. And of course, we've got Joanne on our social media and Diana with website and then also graphic design. And of course me, brand photography. And so don't be afraid to do these things. Yes, we are an investment, but we are an investment to the growth of your future, which is amazing. And I got to tell you, I'm probably like you guys. I mean, I've invested a lot of money this year for, things like Joanne and Diana and new website and buying a booth at eWomen Conference. And scares the dang dickens out of me.
But don't you find too that when you invest in your business, I've always found this, when I invest in my business, it comes back. Like,
yes,
I've never been like, oh my God, I have no money. I've never been like that. I mean, I've been in the past, in my life, I've been broke, but I have never, since I started my business, I have never been to the point where it's like I had no money.
Right.
I've always had money. And when I invest, I find that it all works out. I make more money.
Absolutely.
Even if it's scary and you go, oh, some of those payments hurt.
Ooh, yes.
I have always,
totally.
Something happens and it's there. The money is there. I get it back. It's, I find a new client, whatever it is. So
yes, it totally happens that way. Yeah. It totally does. Every time you're like, oh, and there's a new client. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, so much excitement.
I haven't even done this coaching program yet. I got a new client or whatever, I mean, it's like,
I know.
When you invest in yourself, I think the universe moves and helps you. It says, okay, you're investing in yourself. I'm going to invest in you.
Yeah,
totally. I believe that.
And as I heard
100%.
recently from a friend in a group that I'm in, you got to spend money to make money.
It's true. It is.
You
It
just
is really
sometimes you
true.
do.
And
Yeah.
it is. It's super scary because a lot of times
Yeah.
we put it on our credit card and then pay it off. And sometimes you can't pay it off that whole month. You got to wait too, but
Yep.
again, just like you guys have said, the investment, especially when you're on the right track, like you've got your messaging, your brand, and then you're getting your website, there's definitely a higher, it's a formulaic thing to grow your business. You got to have the foundational parts, which I think are super sexy because you get those in place and then you can have anybody help you with that.
Right.
And so
yeah,
it's pretty
when
powerful.
you're clear on what you're doing, then it's easy to hire somebody and share that with them, and then they get it and go, oh, okay, I get this, what you're doing, and then they can help you and take off with it. Yeah. But when you're not clear, here's where the problems lie. When you're not clear, you can't tell other people what you're doing. They don't get it. And I can tell you on my end, that's frustrating because I don't know what they're doing, or if it's moving, if it's always a moving target. I can't help you. I don't know what
exactly. Like, go get a brand message person.
Yes.
All right. So ladies, any last words?
Well, the three of us will, we're going to help you kick ass and stand out in an overcrowded marketplace. So
definitely.
I say yes to that. Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us. This has been Coffee Talk. We are the Power Circle, getting into the nitty gritty. We're going to talk about the realness of entrepreneurship. So everybody have an awesome day. Thank you, my ladies.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. We'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.